Hello, I'm Tim Krul. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. Hope you're doing well and welcome back to a match review. Normally these match reviews are about 8 to 10 minutes long, and look, there's so much to talk about in terms of this game and Norwich City in general this early on in the season. So we have the NCC show. I do that with my friend Duka. They're on either Sunday evenings or Monday evenings. So please feel free to check out those live streams because we could go into detail a lot more about Norwich. But if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe for consistent Norwich City content. Norwich City lost their first 4 games and had a really difficult start to the season, and you could make potential excuses here and there, but all those excuses have dried up. This was a huge game at the bottom of the table against Watford, and no disrespect to Watford fans, they deserve to win the game today. Watford deserve to win the game today, but if you can't be getting points against Watford and when the same mistakes are happening against Watford than they were against Liverpool and whatnot, then you're in deep trouble. And Norwich City have lost 15 Premier League games in a row. Norwich have lost 15 Premier League games in a row. Every time Norwich City have conceded first in a game, they've lost the last 30 in a row. They're damning stats. They're really damning stats. And what is the solution? I don't know. But let's talk about the game in this one. And I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments section. In terms of the team news, I mean, we liked it, didn't we? I think it was a really nice team news. It was great to have Norman come in. It was great to have Josh Sargent come in. And they're probably our two best players. Norman did really well in this game, and Josh Sargent was really good, playing on that right-hand side, but also drifting into the box, and his link-up play with Pukki was excellent. So that's one positive, I guess, to take from the game. But Norwich City started the game, and good on the ball at times, but just off the ball, we look absolutely hideous at the moment. And it was the same problem against Liverpool, Man City. We played against Leicester, who were terrible against us, but the problem still arose. And against Watford, these problems keep happening, where off the ball we just look so susceptible every time a team comes forward. They got their first goal, and all these goals just were so avoidable. And I think that's the best way to sum it up, quite simply, in this video, that in terms from a Norwich perspective, it looks really difficult to score a goal, but when you're watching Norwich, but the other team, it just looks so easy. We just don't have that resilience and that real defensive solid base. A cross comes in for Femina, Kabak loses his man, and Dennis puts it in at the back post to make it 1-0 Norwich. And Watford had a lot of control over the game from that point. They were moving the ball around well, and Norwich City couldn't really get into their groove. I think there's been a lot of transition with Norwich and of the 4-3-3 formation, which I'll get into a little bit later. But a lot of puffing and puffing from Norwich, but not really any solid attacks, not any solid pressure. But Norwich City got their goal. They showed a bit of resilience, I guess, and it came out of nothing really. Throw in a loose ball, and Norman with a beautiful ball over the top in the centre of the pitch. Team Pukki doesn't thrive off crosses. We know what Team Pukki is. He's great on the last man. Times his run perfectly. Brilliant ball over the top from Norman and slots it past Ben Foster in goal to make it 1-1. And Norwich City got their goal. And I remember the Arsenal game, I was quite positive about that first half, and some fans around me were quite negative in that first half against Arsenal. In this one, I saw quite a few fans being positive in this Watford first half. But for me, Watford were the better team in terms of they created numerous opportunities, and every time Watford had the ball, they looked like scoring. They were so deadly, and Norwich just have no resilience at the back. And they were so dangerous down our left-hand side. Brandon Williams was caught out on many occasions. Kabak had to make a goal line block, essentially, from 12 yards out. And Sarr had some really good opportunities, getting in the pockets, turning Grant Hanley inside out and forced a good save from Tim Krul. And then Watford's best chance of the game probably was when Sarr was 1-on-1 at the end of the first half, but Tim Krul makes a good save. And that was the first half for me. I think Norwich City looked decent on the ball, but Norwich City, it looks so hard for them to score a goal at the moment, and we've only scored 2 open play goals in our last 15 Premier League games. And Watford were direct and they were causing us a lot of problems. And how I would sum it up, I mean, we've seen Norwich City transition this season. We've seen our transition in playing style, formation. Of course, Daniel Farke, there's no excuses for him now. Yes, we've lost our best 2 players in Buendia and Skip, but Stuart Webber, we spent so much money, and as a squad, we're so much better. We lose Buendia, but we've got 3 players who are all capable of contributing more to his creativity and assists. But for me, we've got the 4-3-3 formation, and it's just not working at the moment. It really is not working. I think with the 4-2-3-1, you've got an extra creative player in there. With the 4-3-3, you don't. And the reason why we switched to a 4-3-3 is to have extra bodies in the middle, be a bit more compact, be a bit more disciplined defensively. That's not working. The 4-3-3 is not working in terms of what it's intended to do. We don't look any more solid. I think you look at Norman, who was good in that central defensive midfield role, but also likes to get forward a little bit, and McLean and Gilmore, who are good players. They're just floaters. I think when you have that 4-2-3-1, there's a bit of discipline, a bit of rigidity to their positioning. They're just floating all over the space, and it looks absolutely hideous. The players, I don't think they know whether they want to defend and sit back or go forward, but we just, on transition, every occasion, just getting humiliated. Counter-attacking teams are going to love playing against us. And then Daniel Farke makes probably the worst substitution in the second half, in about the 65th minute. I've seen it from a Norwich City perspective. But yeah, the first half was okay. I guess there's some positives to take. But in the second half, we started well. The best spell we had was probably between the 45th and the 60th minute. We had lots of the ball, push Watford back, causing problems. There was a beautiful bit of a link-up play between Josh Sargent and Pukki in the box where it just gets stuck under Pukki's foot. But there are positives to take. But in the 65th minute, we take off Josh Sargent and we take off Norman. Words are not coming out of my mouth. That is a bonkers substitution. Absolutely bonkers. Why? Josh Sargent was our best player, and we spoke about, Stuart Webber wanted to add physicality and a bit of pace to the sides. Josh Sargent was that. He's probably my man of the match. And Norman was exceptional as well. Obviously got the assist, but what he is, he's a central defensive midfielder, and taking those substitutions off against a counter-attacking team were a poor choice in my opinion. But whatever, the Watford goal is absolutely hideous, and we've seen Norwich City get smashed on many occasions, 5-0 against Man City and whatnot. This is the most infuriated I've been in a goal watching Norwich City for a number of years. The most infuriated, because Norwich City, this is a big game, a must-win game at the bottom of the table, coming up against a team who are going to be, towards the bottom of the table at home. We've had a good first 15 minutes. Out of transition, we look terrible again. All the players are kind of all out of position in the midfield. Brandon Williams has caught up the pitch, a kind of through ball. Josh King's in the box. Norwich City have 5 defenders in the box to the 1 Watford man, and yet Josh King just puts the ball across the 6-yard box. Kabak and Hanley are sleeping, and Sarr makes it 2-1. One of the worst goals I've seen conceded. Just so soft at the back. And then Watford make it 3-1 with about 10 minutes to go. Kenny McLean with a dreadful clearance. Dennis gets put through 1-on-1. Krul makes a save and Sarr puts in the rebound. There was a VAR check 2 years ago. That probably would have been given offside, but whatever. Watford scored it, and they deserve to win the game 3-1. I think Norwich City looked good on the ball. Sargent looked good. But just at the back, just hideous. And it's not necessarily a centre-back issue. I think Kabak and Hanley were really poor, and okay, they were responsible for the goals, but it's just our midfield shape as a whole. Out of transition, so poor. The Leicester game, I'll go back to it. Leicester, that was our last game at Carrow Road. Leicester were poor. We caught them on an off day. And obviously Leicester got that winning goal from losing the ball in the counter-attacking position. And that's it with Norwich. I think just quite simply summed up, we are few nice touches on the ball, but there's not really any penetration to our attack. I think we look good up until the final third, but defensively just so soft, conceding goals from crosses, conceding goals from losing the ball and getting counter-attacked. It's just so easy. And okay, we play Liverpool, Man City and some tough teams, but if we keep defending like this, it doesn't matter who we play against. It doesn't matter, because we will get done. And I think the question is now, where are Norwich City going to next get their points? So a big week needed. Obviously, Liverpool in the Cup will be an interesting one, could be a nice distraction. But in the Premier League, a couple of away games to come now. When are Norwich City next going to get their points? Because unless we change the formation, or it's not quite as simple as that, unless we work on the formation or change it or make some quite drastic changes to how we defend as a team in our shape, we're going to be in for a long, hard season, and it could get very, very ugly. And there's no discussion about Daniel Farke out yet, but if Norwich City lose their next 5 games, there's going to be discussion about it. And Norwich City, if they continue playing like how they are, that's going to happen. That is 100% going to happen. 15 straight Premier League losses in a row for Norwich. Norwich City have got all the tools now to stay up, but they need to implement them. So a disappointing game today. Norwich City, a lot to work on. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching my match review. Have a good week. Hopefully Liverpool's more positive, and I'll see you later.